Arsenal Fan TV, asking fans about what they think about the signing of Kim Kallstrom and him being injured.
Kim Kallstrom and being injured, it makes you wonder what Mr. Wenger's actually doing, isn't it? They've just given him a new contract himself. He's picking up 160 grand a week, and he's buying nobody. As far as I'm concerned, as an Arsenal supporter, is that other teams spend regardless, because that's what you need to do in order to win football matches. It's not rocket science. I've been watching football for a long time, and like I said, we have this Mr. Wenger in charge. I think he's reached his sell-by date personally.
Yeah.
He seems to be afraid to spend the money that the club has in order to push the club forward. It's a 12 months period. It all starts again after 12 months. So within that 12 months, you've got to compete with the best, and you've got to actually buy the best in order to compete.
Let me just stop you. I mean, you say past the sell-by date, but they are, as we stand today, still fighting for the title. We can't say what's going to happen between. We know that City have got a strong squad, Chelsea have, but we're still in there. We've still been fighting. We've still been right at the top all season. I mean,
absolutely.
You've got to give them some credit for that.
There is some credit to be taken from it, but there's some negativity in as much as it's simple. If you want to stay at the top, you have to have the best drivers. In any team. At the top and at the pinnacle of the team, there's always new and freshness about it. If you don't add freshness to your side becomes stale, disillusioned, your players come out and play like that. If you don't manage with that kind of steel fist, your players, they tend to take a back seat and they don't do as much as they can. When I say sell-by date, I feel that Mr. Wenger doesn't have that type of authority anymore to inspel players to go out there and give their best. They'll go out there and put on a performance, but they won't play. They won't rip their shirt off and run around till their lungs burn.
What about Mertesacker? Come on, he's really inspired players like that this season.
Mertesacker seems to be one of the new breed, but realistically, it's the old breed which Arsenal are missing, and it's the old attitude which Arsenal are missing. Now, great. I was speaking to somebody on the way down here from on the train, and they're saying Mr. Wenger's great at this and that and the rest. But seemingly to me, the only thing that Mr. Wenger's done is brought young players, he's brought them through, he's turned them into international good players, and then he's watched them leave. It doesn't help the purpose of Arsenal. 8 years is a long time. And therefore, somewhere along the line, you've got to say, well, enough is enough. Let's try and win something. Being here and being in the Champions League is great, but we need to win something.
What about your argument, though, that if you had another manager in with the same sort of funds available, where would we be then?
I would see him as probably spending some of those funds in the effort of buying talent, an emerging talent to actually push Arsenal forward. Like I said, even the Oswald deal, it seemed like a last-minute jerk reaction. Everyone's bought something. Oh, let me buy something. He come up with this guy, 40 million. Okay, he was great for a while, and he's okay. But you look across the road at Chelsea, and they go spend less money on a player that's been in the Premiership for two and a half seasons. He's already acclimatised. Mr. Wenger should know this about the Premiership. You need to acclimatise before you can play.
But aren't you're being a bit harsh here. Remember, we're above Chelsea at the moment.
I'm a
long-suffering
Arsenal
I know you're. So am I. I'm a long-suffering as well. I think you're being a bit harsh this season. I mean, I know it's been a bit. The transfer window that's just gone. Yeah, it has been a bit of a shambles, but. Looking at the team this season, they have been doing well.
That's right, but then they'll only do well for a certain amount of time, and then you need some more to make it go even better.
All right, what would you say if by the end of this season he has won something? What would you say then?
I would take my hat off, probably find him, come and collapse at his knees, and but the truth of the matter is, it won't happen because, like I said, I'm old enough to know better. Yeah, and I've been suffering for so long to realise better. And like I said, you look at other teams around you, they spend money, not for fun, but they spend money because at the end of the day, it's not the manager's money, it's the club's money. They're going to spend it to improve the club. We're in a business where you have to spend to improve. And like I said before, it's not rocket science. You've got to strengthen what you have and keep the morale strong. And when you don't, the morale goes downhill and you lose it on the performance on the pitch. As far as I'm concerned, a team like Southampton, you're not supposed to draw to. Southampton, you're supposed to come out here and run over.
But Chelsea, the team you were just bigging up, they drew during the week against West Ham at home. And you would have thought that would be, City dispatched them.
Yeah, that was a one-off out of character. The problem with Arsenal is the character
you can't say that because... No, if you're going off of this season, you can't say that because we've been very consistent away from home now.
We've been lucky. We've been very fortunate.
You're very harsh.
I'm telling you the way it is. Listen, I'm telling you the way it is. We have been very fortunate so far. We're fortunate to be in the position we're in with what we've had. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, you can't see the same things going wrong season after season after season and feel happy about it. You can't have your best players leave.
Right, I'm with you on the transfers, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you don't think you're being a bit harsh? to say we've been lucky. They've been very consistent this season.
We've been fortunate. We have been fortunate. I'm telling you that now. We've been fortunate. There's no luck about it. We've been very fortunate. That is the way it has been. And like I said, as far as I'm concerned, with football, you have to constantly invest in order to improve. It doesn't change any other way. It's like I said, it's not rocket science. It's the way it is. And if you don't invest, you get what you get. We've been fortunate to be where we are. But I'll tell you something. The first game of the season, I was in sunny Barbados. I turned up at this sports bar in my Arsenal top, giving it to sit down to watch Arsenal run over a team, and I've got to walk out of there with my tail between my legs because we couldn't even beat Aston Villa.
But you've been walking high ever since.
I've been on a very good. But the bottom line is, I know that unless we actually spend, we can't compete, and that's the way football is.